My name's Jonathan with Nomadic Cooling. We're over here at Arrowhead Mercedes-Benz with the general manager, Matt Kinder, my bestie. He's been here for 9 years, and he's not just a general manager of a Mercedes, he's actually a full-time, part-time van lifer. If you'd like to learn more about Matt's story and his vehicle and how he has it decked out for his overland travels, follow along in this video. What would you say is how it changes your life being able to use the van to go to places as opposed to having to go to hotels?
I would say the biggest thing for me is that it's calming. The van is very calming to me. It's just it's a fun experience. I love being out there in the outdoors. I grew up in the Northwest. I ski, I mountain bike, I hike, I do everything in the van. This makes it so convenient for me to be able to just pack up and go.
So you're bringing all of your toys that you need with you that you probably couldn't bring in another vehicle.
Absolutely.
It's got everything there.
You can't fly with a bicycle. I mean, you can, but it's a pain, the skis, lugging around skis. And I can put the bike on the rack with the skis. Took the van from Arizona up through Utah, in through Wyoming, up into northern Idaho and over, and ended up being a 12-day trip, and lived out of the van completely.
You're telling me you didn't just go to hotels along the way?
Nope, not at all.
You slept in the van, ate in the van, hang out in the van, and traveled.
100%.
It gives you the freedom that you need to go where you want to go with the stuff that you need.
Absolutely. I'm a self-contained unit.
For me, I need to be able to take a nap because I drive for about 3 hours and need a nap. So I like to be able to jump in the back and take a nap with the dogs.
Yep.
And as you know, going hotel to hotel to hotel with dogs is a nightmare.
It is.
Okay, that's a frustrating thing. Guys, let's follow along and let's do a van tour of Matt's van as the general manager of Mercedes-Benz here at Arrowhead, Arizona.
All right, Kenny, again, here we are at my home away from home. Again, I think of this as my happy place. This is where I can kind of relax from a busy day at work, or if I'm on the road and going on a vacation, I can leave the doors open. I can sit here, just kind of look out over everything, and again, my happy place. What we have here, this is a custom build from Tommy Camper Vans here in Phoenix, Arizona. Mikey down there and his crew, they do a great job. I love how they do their woodwork, and they're very, very, very easy to deal with. Jonathan from Nomadic and Mikey got together, and they really put together a really neat, fun build for me. What most people don't know is that you can actually finance the custom build into the van loan. Mercedes-Benz Financial really does a great job as far as bundling that together, as long as we can show them the physical build of the van, which is fantastic. It's a great opportunity for people to get into the van life. What we have is an isotherm drawer fridge freezer, which I really love. A lot of times what you'll find in these builds is that they'll put in a relatively small refrigerator freezer, and now the next thing you have to do is you have to worry about putting coolers in and figure out how to stash your food and whatnot. But if you're going to be out off grid for a while, or just have the luxury of bringing whatever you want, that's one of the nice things about how we built this van. We're not constricted on having to chintz as far as what do we want to take with us on a trip. So it was very, very well thought out. What we decided to do is we wanted to make sure we kept our water on one side of the van, and then on this side we'll have more of our electrical. So I kind of want to keep things separate. I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent, but it seemed more logical to me. But it was really thought out on how we laid it out. What we have up here is I have a nice big deep sink, right, where this vehicle actually has a hot water heater. I have a 30-gallon tank underneath it for fresh water. I have a 6-gallon tank of gray water if I need it. What I have up here, I have storage containers up here. I use this for mostly the kitchen cooking stuff. Back here behind me, Kenny, this is where I'll keep my more of my clothes. up in these. If you notice in the back, you see some black bags up there. Those are actually, those are great for storing puffy jackets and whatever. What I figured out is that when you're up in the mountains, the weather is very, very unpredictable. So one of the things that I've learned is to always have like a rain jacket or a puffy jacket or something, flip flops, things that I wouldn't normally think of because the weather is so challenging, sometimes. So this is kind of the main cabin area. One of the nice things that we thought about was, I've got, I wanted to make sure that I had plenty of spots to cook off of, or to eat, to cook, to do work if you had to. Although I really try not to do the work thing in this van. I try to keep it as fun as possible. So you notice I don't have an induction stovetop or a gas stovetop in the vehicle. I wanted to kind of keep the space and be able to use this countertop more functionally than if I had a glass top or whatnot. What I've done is I figured out that I can do all of my cooking with either a Instapot or an electric, skillet or griddle or whatever. I can pretty much do anything like that. I make my coffee with a jet boil. It kind of gives me a fun, makes me feel more like I'm camping. I try to keep it very, very simple. I have outlets for that. I have outlets on the outside if I want to cook outside. I really don't like to cook inside too much unless the weather determines it, because I like the smell of the food outside and I don't need to be sleeping with that when I'm inside. Underneath me, that actually under this drawer that'll actually slide out is where I have the head or the toilet. On my side where I'm sitting is actually storage for food, dry goods, pots, pans, whatever I might need. Connections Auto put in a subwoofer down here for me in a real low profile, so it didn't take up much room. So below or behind the driver's seat, I actually have an amp, really tucks in tight out of the way. I can still swivel the seats around and I'm not worried about bumping into it. On the other side, underneath the passenger seat, I have a diesel heater. Diesel heater is clutch, especially when you're up in the mountains, and I've used it on ski trips, even when I didn't spend the night, but when you come back and you're putting your boots on or taking them off and you can fire up the diesel heater and warm up the cab, it's like it's a lifesaver. That's when you definitely feel like you're cheating. This is, essentially the cockpit of the electrical system, or the brain of the van. This is where I can see how my touchpad, I can see how my battery life is. I can turn on or off my outlets. I have a WeBoost cell booster up on top, so I can turn that on and off if I need to. I basically control all my lighting. I have lighting all throughout the van. I have puck lights all through the top that are controlled by a rheostat. I've also got some underneath the cabinets on both sides, as well as rope lights on underneath, so it gives me kind of a little glowing ambiance, so to speak, in the van. But I can control that all through up here, as well as little rheostats on the side. I do have a max air fan up top. One of the things that you really need in living in these tight spots is airflow. I open up the window sliders and I turn on the max air fan. I really get air moving through the van. One of the things that I love about these 144 high roofs is, I'm 6'3" tall. And so I've got plenty of room where I can walk around, not crouched over. A lot of these other non-Mercedes vans don't have the ability to have such headroom. As well as, everyone says, oh, this bed, how does someone your size sleep in this bed behind me? Well, I have flares on this van, so I have 6'5" essentially room for me to lay sideways on the van. So like I said, very well thought out. When you get into this van life and you start playing around with things, you find things you like and you don't like, and you definitely adapt on the fly as well. One of the great things that Nomadic did for me is they installed the low profile AC unit in this vehicle. I am tall. There's a lot of, most other brands out there will have more of a bigger footprint. Maybe they'll stick down, a couple inches or whatnot. you hear a noise and you lift your head up, and the last thing you want to do is whack it on an AC unit that's sticking down. So this flush mount makes it, this key for up there gives you that extra room, is fantastic. It's done, I can control it with a remote control or with a button. So it's just really, really convenient. It's super efficient, and I can cool this van down and, you know, lickety split. It's just, it's an amazing system. And one of the key deals with this, with having the AC system, especially here in Phoenix, is like with my pets. I have two dogs, Stanley and Maggie, that go everywhere with me. I often bring them to work, as a matter of fact. But one of the nice things is, if I want to go out on a mountain bike ride, or you know, do something, and I need to cool this van down quick, I can actually set this, you know, this temperature to, you know, 72, 75 degrees, and just make sure that the dogs are doing really well in the van. We do have to, you know, we have to deal with, you know, 110 to 115 degree temperatures in Phoenix. Now that's a little excessive. You know, that kind of temperature, you can lower it about maybe, you know, 10 degrees, but the big key is to get that airflow and getting that cool air in there. But you know, at some point, you know, the AC won't keep up, but that's the same with the houses as well.
If you want to learn more about Matt and the services that they provide, you can go to what website would they go to?
Well, you can go to Arrowhead Mercedes-Benz, or excuse me, arrowheadmb.com.
Okay. Now, you're the general manager, so they can't really ask for you.
They can ask for me.
That's not how it works around here.
They can absolutely ask for me.
You can say, maybe like, I got someone to help you. Just joking.
No. When it comes to the, you know what? As you know, I'm very, very personable. I want the store to take on my personality. We do a great job of making it a very friendly environment for everyone to come into. Believe me, I would talk all day long when it comes to the van. So I have no problem if you have any questions. You know, my van team, Lane Rogers is my head van specialist.
Van guru.
Van guru,
you can't
for
be
sure.
The van genius.
None of us are geniuses, yeah. But the fact that, you know, this is all new. This is kind of new to us. You know, for the last, I'd say, with 3 years or 4 years is when we really kind of started dipping our toe into this van life, and now we're just like jumping in full force. And it's really a wonderful community. The people you meet on the road, the people that have vans, like this guy, right? Jonathan's, I mean, I don't know, how many vans have you gotten from?
I won't talk
3?
about it. I don't want to.
You know, it's like, you know, it's a great community of people, and just a fun, relaxing way to get out there and you know, see the world, man.
Thank you very much for this tour. I appreciate it. Guys, if you want to go further in comfort with some cold air technology, do me a favor, go to nomadiccooling.com. Let's go further in comfort with Nomadic Cooling. Lane, this is a bonus reel at the end of the reel. We're still here. They thought the video was over, but yet it's not. We're still here.
Here we are.
Now, Lane and I have a difficult relationship. And what I'm going to say with that is I have purchased my second van from you. Probably, I don't know the exact number, but near 10 rigs from you over the course of the last 4 years.
True.
Now, I'm going to say all of those were not necessary. Okay? And you would just show up and be like, look at what I have. It's amazing, and then you tricked me into buying them. That's the way that I see it, Kenny. I have been tricked.
But it's fortuitous. See, you see something, you like it, your creative brain goes somewhere.
And you magically drive it over to the shop and are like, John, you can't live without this.
How could you?
It's got everything you need.
The question is, are you happy?
I'm pretty happy.
Okay.
And that's why we're here sitting in front of the mattress.
Yes.
Okay, because you're into van life. You know all the different things. You go to the van expos, you got the chairs, the hats, all the accoutrements needed for van life.
It is a life.
But the crazy thing is, a few months ago, maybe 6-8 months ago, you showed up to the shop with this mattress that had nothing inside of it.
Nothing.
And you were like, John, I think this is the rig for you. I was a bit skeptical at the time.
It was.
Because it's smaller than a 4x4 high top 144.
But you love the way it drove.
But I love the way it drove, and I also love the fact that you knew that it was the perfect rig for Roxy. Because Roxy, as she's getting a little bit older, has a difficult time getting into a 144. And actually, the the way that the step rails are in there, it can be a little bit dangerous
True.
for an older dog. Yeah. Okay, this she can get right in and right out, and you knew that. So we bought this as an empty mattress. There was nothing in the back, just a cargo.
Right.
Had it shipped out, brought it back. It's pure luxury in there right now.
It's insane luxury in there.
It's amazing how often I get asked if this is my daily driver. And just so everybody knows now, the mattress is my everyday driver, and I am rocking it. It is fantastic on the highway. The biggest thing for me is the dog can get almost in and out by herself, not 100%, okay? But she can sleep behind me when I'm driving, and then she has the ability to go back into sleep on the bed and then come back and forth.
It is comfortable.
It's pretty comfy. I mean, it's got everything. Sometimes I turn the TV on for her back there.
Well, she's a rock star. She deserves that.
She
comfort.
deserves everything that she gets. So first of all, it's a great recommendation by you. And over at the Scottsdale van show that's coming up, you're going to be there, and we're going to be neighbors again.
We are.
We will not be drinking hot toddies. I'll tell you that. After the last time that Matt did it, it's a bad influence.
No promises.
Guys, although the beginning of this video was not a sales pitch, the end of the video, clearly a sales pitch. If you're interested in a van and you're somewhere on the side of the United States, or even not, and you want to go on a flight, please contact Lane over here. Where can they find you?
At Arrowhead Mercedes-Benz, and my direct line 623-815-3995. We can also finance the upfit on a mattress.
No, he didn't tell me that when I did my mattress. Okay, one of us is a bad communicator. Wasn't me, it was him. Guys, if you want to go further in comfort, go further with Nomadic Cooling and Mercedes-Benz Arrowhead. And remember that my everyday driver right now is a mattress, and I think it's pretty dope.
It is sweet.
It is sweet. Guys, this is where we do the clap.
Right.
Are you ready?
Ready.
Ready? 1.